So you're welcome back. So right now I have this is the my fabric and this is the facing. So right now I'm going to place it right side to right side like this. So making sure that the shoulder line of the main fabric touches that of the facing, as you can see right here. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to fold from the center of the neck, also the down part. I will fold it equally. Can you see? So having folded it, so I'm going to mark from this shoulder line or neckline width. I'm going to mark like 8.5 inches right here. So at this point I will simply connect to the neckline width using my ruler. So I connect in a slant manner, as you can see right here. So having done this, so I'm going to cut it off. So I've cut both the main fabric and the facing all together at the same time. So right now I'm going to open this way. So I have my V shape already. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to take what I'm going to use to place on it as a collar. So as you can see right here, this is what I will be using as my collar for the V-neck. So I have the width here to be like 8 inches. Can you see? 8. So the length actually depends on how long you want the length to be. And I will be cutting 2 pieces. One will come to this side, then the other, and both of them will meet at this point, this center here. So but in my own case, I'm going to measure from this place. So I measure. So on this part I have 9 inches already. So I'm going to add like 1 inch in case there is any shortage along the line when I'm stitching. So I assume this one is like a 9.5 or 10. Let me assume it's like a 9.5. So from that point I'm going to measure from here. So it depends on how you want the tie to be, how lengthy you want it to be. But I will be making use of the whole of this. So I'll be making use of 10 inches. So it means 9.5 plus 10 inches, I'll be having approximately 20 inches. So that is going to be the length for this collar in my own case. So right now, as you can see, I folded it again into 2. So it means I will be having the width now to be 4 inches. So for the length, I said it's going to be approximately 20 inches. So I'm going to cut it. So plus 1 inch, making it 21 inches. Okay. So that is what I shall be marking. 21 inches. So right now I'm going to cut it off. So having cut it off, I'm going to measure from this point here. I'm going to measure, it depends on how you want the width of the tie to be, but I will be making use of like two inches, then plus quarter of an inch to stitch it. So I'll be making use of two 1/4 of an inch, I mean two 1/4 inches. Okay, now I will go up here and mark 11. Okay, so I'm going to, here at the base here I mark two 1/4. So at the edge here I'm going to mark three 1/4. So I have it right here, three 1/4 inches. So definitely it's going to be in a slant form. So right now I'm going to place my ruler. So I place my ruler, connecting the lines at the base, connecting this line at the base to the upper part. So I will make sure that is of the same, the width are the same. So that is why I just have to shift it, because this fabric is a bit shaking. So I need to be mindful of that. So I'm going to make sure that the width is equal. So right now I'm going to connect from the upper part to the down part. You connect, you can see in a slant form. So right now I'm going to cut. I will carefully do this. Can you see? So right now I will have already got my two pieces. So what I'm going to do right now is to cut it here. Into two equal parts. So here is one. You see? So now in cutting the width for this, you also take note, I mean you will also be mindful of the fact that it must not be exactly on the armhole. So it's going to be like 1 inch shorter than the my collar. Now let me quickly measure this. You see here I have like 4.5 inches. And already here, what I measure here is 3 inches, so it means I use 1.5 inches. This one is 1.5 inches shorter in terms of width, so that is what I'm trying to pass across. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to come to the base here. So I'm going to place the two on each other, then I come to the base and I shape it. So I'm going to slash. So how do I do that? I'm going to come up here by 1 inch. So I come up by 1 inch right here. So from there, I just slantly connect. So I slantly connect like this. So I will just cut this off. And you see. So right now, the next thing is just to stitch. And before I do that, I'm going to come up by 11 inches. So I'm going to mark it right here. Then I'm going to make a kind of a slit at that point, so that I will easily recollect that this is where I'm to stop. So just like 0.5 of an inch. So it's okay like this. Okay, so that is a demarcation for me, because I will have to stitch this one, this tie. So, and by the time I get here, I'm going to stop. So the process continues. So I will just start from the base here, right side to right side. So I will stitch. I will run a stitch right here, or I sew it here. After that, I will progress. I mean, continue from there, from this spot. Then I move it upwards to the point where I've just slitted, to this point here. And exactly what I'm going to do to this is what I will be repeating also on the second piece. Now, as you can see, I've sewn it, the down part, up to that point where I make a mark, and also to the second one. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to slash it, to cut excesses off, so that by the time I'm turning it inside out, to be very easy and it will relax well. So I'm going to trim it very well. Can you see? So right now I'm going to turn it outward. So you can use any sharp object, but not too sharp. So I will just bring it like this and turn it. You see? So I turn it and I make sure that this pointed, this sharp edge is also out. Bring it out. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to iron it and make it very neat. I will iron it so that it will relax very well. So I'm going to do that to the second one too. So as you can see, I've ironed it. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do is just to run a stitch here first, so that it will hold it firm. After running a stitch here, top stitch here, and also the second, then I can now place it like this. So I place it like this. Then by the time I place it like this, let me show you so that you can see. So having placed it like this, then I will now stitch from this edge down to this point here. Then I will also take the second one. I will place it like this also. So as I place it, I'm going to run a stitch. So making sure that this one enters into this. I will make sure at this point that this one it overlaps somehow. Then I will stitch so that it will key. By the time I finish that, so I will now notch from inside so that it will be easy for me, so that it will be very relaxed. So I will now notch from the center point of the V shape. So after that, then I still proceed further. Now, as you can see right here, I've finished sewing it. After I sew it on this part like this, I also went ahead and fold the excesses inward like this, and I top stitch like so all round. So I have it flat like this. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to open this down part. So I'm going to measure from that center point. Now I have the center point right here at this edge here. So I have the center here. So here, from this point, I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch on my right hand side and 3/4 of an inch on my left hand side, which will give me the total of 1.5 inches. So I'm going to just place it here like this. I place it here like this. So I mark 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches. So it's okay by me. So it is on this 1.5. I'm going to place the material. I'm going to fold it just like this. So I will measure like 2.5 inches. I will use 0.5 to bend it in, then another 0.5 to bend it in, which will give me the remaining part will now be 1.5. So I'll be right back. All right, I've come to the conclusion of this tutorial. Can you see this neckline? So beautiful and unique. I hope you have gained something tangible in this tutorial. So here I come to the conclusion of this tutorial. So if you have any question, kindly drop your question in the comment section. So here is the tie for the neckline, or for the design, the V neck. So till I come your way again, thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. Bye for now.